Hi, it's Kaylee. It's so nice to see you here. Today I thought I would speak about um, having sound healing events. So, whether it's a sound meditation, which is good for more corporate events, and a shorter event, or an introduction to sound healing would be more of a sound meditation, or it's a sound bath, which are everywhere, and not just healers are playing sound baths. They can be done by someone who's a musician who just likes the instruments. They could be just learning about healing. And then sound journeys, which are my favorite and mostly what I train people to do. I also train people to do the sound meditations and hold events with sound as well. But the sound journeys, generally speaking, are held by or created by someone who's a trained healer, and they know how to work with the energy and the frequencies of the room, of each person. They know how to set up their instruments. They know how to talk someone through a vocal toning session. So, sound journeys for me, in my description of them, is someone who's a trained healer who knows how to work with the sound and who knows how to work with the vibrational energy. So, my name is Kaylee, in case you don't know, and I am the creator of the Healing Sound Arts program. So, if you've ever felt like you were a natural healer, but you didn't know what to do with it, you're empathic, you're sensitive, and you feel like you really want to bring these gifts out into the world and have a lifestyle as a healer, and then become a professional sound healer and have your own space so you can hold space for others, please check out the link below. I have now just a few spots in my program open, and they fill up quickly, so I am accepting new students. And this is a one-to-one program, and it's with me like 90 minutes a week in coaching, plus you get all this material, videos, audios, PDFs, and everything you need for your training to heal yourself and to heal others. So, just some tips and tools about holding a sound healing event. Now, I mentioned earlier, if you're doing a sound meditation, this would probably be better for people who are just getting a taste of the sound, or they're just, or if it's for a meditation class and you're using the sound to get people into the deep meditation. Or you could be doing this for a corporate event and you just want to have a wellness type group. And this could be, 20 minutes to about an hour. And then you have your sound baths, which you set up all your instruments and you have a group of people come in and relax and rest. And then you have the sound journey. Basically the same thing, only with the difference of the practitioner, like I expressed earlier. So, I've been doing this for about 14 years now, and I have found out all kinds of things, and I have much more tools and tips than I can possibly put into this one video. Um, but one of the things that just popped into my head is that some people wear hearing aids, and it's not that common, but it can happen. Like if you decide to go work with an older population, someone could be wearing a hearing aid. So if you know you're with an older population, you may suggest that they turn their hearing aid off or down. In sound healing, it's more about the feeling and the vibration moving through your body than it is about hearing. And sound healing isn't about just hearing, it's about deep listening and deep feeling, okay? So that's why if you're an empathic person and you're a sensitive person, you're going to be a natural with healing people with sound. You're going to be able to deeply know what the frequency is and how to shift it. And another thing that I like to do is have everyone take off their shoes so that they're nice and comfortable, and they're maybe they can get a sense of being grounded or get some grounding from the earth. The earth is has a Schumann resonance, so there's this frequency that comes from the surface of the earth up to the ionosphere of the earth, and that is a frequency, it's part of our tonal diet that we need to survive. And in fact, when astronauts went up into space, they discovered they were missing this frequency and they had to pump it into their spacesuits. But you really need this frequency. And the more that you can go barefoot on wood or some kind of natural material rather than wearing synthetic soled shoes or being on plastic or something, um, the more grounded you will feel. And they've actually connected being grounded in the body to not being like not having diseases and things, because if you're not grounded, it can create a lot of inflammation in your body. So think about that. So I like to have people relax, take off their shoes, and you can relax more too without shoes on. Another thing that I like to do is make sure that people aren't going to be disturbed. If it's a quiet space, that's good. If it's in a busy office building, you might get someone knocking on the door by accident or something like that. So it's best if you can find a place that maybe the rest of the building's closed for the day and you have an evening gathering, so that you won't be disturbed. You also want to make sure that you're not going to disturb others with the sounds that you're making. Sometimes the drums, the crystal bowls, and especially using voice for healing can be very loud in some buildings. So you want to check for that. Usually when people come into the space that I'm doing the sound journey at, I make sure that I preset. So when they come in, they just pick a yoga mat where they want to have as their space. I usually have asked them to bring their favorite blankets or pillows so that they can get really comfortable, because the whole idea of doing a sound journey is to get them into a place of being deeply relaxed so that they can go into transcendence. And that's what the crystal singing bowls do. They bring a person into this state of transcendence where you go beyond space and time. You can do so much from that space, heal so much. So you can preset the space, and you always want to make sure that no one's feet is toward anyone's head, because if a person's feet is toward someone's head, a lot of discharge comes from the legs and feet. So as we're healing and releasing things, it comes right out. If you're a trained healer, you know this because you'll see discharge come from these areas. It comes from the hands too, but mostly the feet. And so the person might not be able to relax if they have feet sort of toward their head, or the feet are everywhere in the room. So what I like to do is I like to face the feet and the legs going out toward the door or toward the walls and have everyone's head meet. You can do it in a semicircle. And you also don't want anyone's feet toward the crystal singing bowls. These are very absorbent. They take things in like a sponge, and that's why it's so good for practitioners to work with these. Experienced sound healers can really set an intention and be with the frequency, and it can be amplified with the sound and the crystal. So that's why these are so potent of tools. So you want to make sure no one's feet are near the crystal singing bowls or near yourself as the practitioner, the person having the event. I've seen massive discharge from in my healing work from coming from the legs and feet shooting right out. And a lot of people don't see this or aren't aware of this. So online I see sound baths everywhere, and you have certain person's feet up here and then heads over near the feet, and there's nothing I can do but just share this in a video, so hopefully you'll be aware of that. Sometimes people will come up and after the sound journey, and they will let me know that they couldn't stop thinking, that their mind was so busy and they just could not believe that they had thought about these experiences or these people that they haven't seen in a while, and they have no explanation for why these people were coming up in their mind. And what they don't realize, or maybe they've been taught somewhere in a meditation class, that thoughts are bad, and thoughts are not bad. Thoughts coming up in sound healing and sound meditation just means that you are unstressing. So these stressors are flying out of you, and that's why you have all these thoughts, all these thoughts, all these thoughts. It's great. Now you're releasing these stresses, because stressors usually show up as a thought. So you can even give like a little talk beforehand about this, that if you have thoughts, just let them come up and out. It's usually stress. It's just being released. They're showing up as thoughts. Just let them go. Don't attach to them. Don't try to push them away. Don't try to like really think about them and figure them out. Just see them for what they are. Just let them come up and out, and you are releasing stress. Another thing to be aware of is because when we have sound journeys and they're effective, we bring people into a deep, deep state of relaxation. And in fact, the brainwave patterns are entrained, especially if you're using crystal singing bowls. The brainwave patterns, you're entraining their brainwave states. So they can go into these deep states like alpha. It's not as deep, but theta is very deep. And what happens is things that you may say are highly suggestive. Like they're like in a state where they're absorbing things like like a sponge. And so the subconscious mind takes in its environment without words or anything. It does take in words, but it's more like it'll just come in, and it's just open. It doesn't really have a filter system. So if you have everyone in your sound journey, they're lying down, they're completely relaxed, they might be in this theta state. Some may even go into sleeping. That happens once in a while, which is fine. Whatever you say, they can take it in and not even realize that they've taken it in. Just like when perhaps a person has surgery and they're under anesthesia, and they don't, they're not quite awake to realize that somebody's saying something that they don't have to take in. Well, when you're awake, you can be aware like that. But when you're not, when you're kind of, when you're in those other brainwave states and you're deeply resting, you don't have that filter system, and so it could go right into the subconscious. So you want to be mindful as a sound healer and a practitioner. You want to be very mindful about what is coming out of your mouth when people are in this deep state. Very often at the end of a sound journey, I walk around and I bring bowls, not bowls, bells, little koshi bells, or I'll bring like out the pyramid, and I'll just ding it quietly as I walk through around everyone, and things will come to me. But I'm very cautious about saying it. I'm very aware and very mindful before it comes out of my mouth. So I will say things like, love yourself. Peace is all around you. The universe supports you. You are abundant. And things like this. You are healthy. That's a good one. But when I do get the inspiration to say these things, and when they're coming from me, because I'm tuned in to the person as I'm walking by them and I'm focusing on them, ringing a little bell over them or something, I'm still very mindful about how it comes out. It usually comes out as a positive. And it's better to say less or nothing at all than to not be sure and to be doubtful, or to have something fly out of your mouth and it could affect that person. So these are the tips and tools I'm thinking of right now, and things to consider when you're holding a sound healing event. Primarily, you just want to hold an intention and let the highest and best sounds move through you, especially if they come from your voice, and especially when a person is very relaxed and receptive. So I hope this was helpful for you. If you need any other tips or tools, or you have questions for me, please suggest it in the comments, and I just might do a video for you. Blessings for a beautiful day. I'll talk to you soon. So if you'd like to become a sound healer, please check out the link below or somewhere around this video and get on a free call with me. I'd love to meet you. The program is a 90-day program. It's all online. You can visit me in person if you'd like, but it's all online. It's one-to-one sessions, and I have videos for you, and I have audios of sound healings, and instructional videos and PDFs and all of the content that you need to learn this, and also the coaching with me one-to-one. So I only have a few spots available because I am only one person and I want to give you undivided attention. So if you act quickly, I still have those spots available right now, but they will go fast. Please check out the link, and I hope to see you on the other side. Bye-bye.